Strategic Hotbox with Dr. Brandi Luv Stankovic. Discussing leadership, business, and how to take control of your life and achieve greatness. From the streets of Las Vegas, energized, informed, and never diluted. It's time to kick some ass.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. It's your girl, Dr. Brandi Stankovic. We're here on the Strategic Hotbox, and I have my good friend, Zach Harmon, here with me. Welcome, Zach.
Doctor, thank you. Happy to be here.
And we are going to talk a little bit about crafting the soul. Let me break it down. As you know, in the Strategic Hotbox, we learn, we love, and we kick ass. So we learn a little from subject matter experts that are in all different types of industries. The cool part about today is we're going to dig into the music industry a little bit and the passion and the art that comes from being an artist in music, being a singer and a songwriter. And then we'll talk about love and the importance of relationships and getting to know people and networking and all of that in business as well. And then, of course, Kick-Ass will leave you with some tools that you can start executing on today. And, of course, because there's a guitar near, we just had to crack a beer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, it may not be noon when you're watching and listening to us, but it's afternoon here in Las Vegas right now. And as you know, when we talk to different subject matter experts, we like to bring people in to kind of keep it real, keep it grounded, keep it authentic of what it really takes to be special in different areas. So with that, I would like to formally introduce Mr. Zach Harmon, who you've been singing and doing the music game for a minute now, haven't you?
Yeah, probably about 20 years or so now.
Wow.
25, yeah.
But I want to say it right off the bat. You have a song on the radio.
I do.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, it was my first little big push I'm making now. It's starting to happen. So
all right.
Now I'm here. So
is that kind of like the movies? Is that the all right? Yay! I'm glad that we're part of your journey. Is that still a thing, like in the movies where you're driving along and then everybody stop everybody and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is my song on the radio."
Yeah. Well, I actually wasn't there when it played either. I haven't actually caught it live yet, which is funny. They don't really let you know too often, like when they're going to rotate it. Mm-hmm. But I know it played at 4:10 p.m. and I was like, hey, that's a pretty good time slot.
Yeah,
it's not at 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's right. It's not the middle of the night. We're like, we're just going to slip this one in here.
Yeah.
That's when people are actually in their car.
Yeah, definitely. I always had the end goal, with music, the dream, really, as far as like legacy and all that, to have a song on the radio someday.
Yeah.
Where when my kids are driving with their kids, they'd be like, hey, that's Grandpa Zach.
Oh.
So I guess I'm a little ahead of the game on that already.
I love that vision.
Yeah,
I love that vision.
Hopefully it lasts, though. We'll see.
Because I think the hard part now with how easy and accessible some of these online tools are, anybody can have a song on Apple or anybody can have a song on some of these other platforms. So having it on the radio, that's not something that just anybody can do.
Yeah, radio is still pretty untouchable for a lot of people, I feel like. And I'm just like super blessed. I couldn't be happier about how that's going.
So one thing, I love poetry, right? And so I've always thought I would love to be able to turn some of my poetry into music, but I don't know enough about the mechanics of music and things. What does the songwriting process look like?
It is tough, and it's basically you just got to keep shooting for it. Sometimes you'll write a line that it sounds really good on paper or looks great on paper, and then you try to actually extrapolate that to the song itself, and it doesn't quite add up.
Yeah.
I'm definitely very much like a rhythm of the words kind of person. So, and I also try to cram a ton of syllables in. I talk very fast, as I'm trying to slow down for today to make sure it's clear, but I talk very fast, and so my music in a big way definitely, is a part of that as well. So a lot of times I'll be like, wow, I put about 4 too many syllables in that line. And I'll have to cut something out.
Yeah.
Then you have to get really creative, as far as, luckily you're allowed to use a lot of slang in music. There's not really a whole lot of rules there.
Yeah.
But the songwriting process for me, at this point, now that I've been writing for so long, it's really about having a good idea.
Yeah.
I try to cut out the crap, even if a line sounds great, if it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't have meaning to it, I really don't usually like to push through. Like, I don't like it to be cheesy or anything like that either.
Sure.
And there's a fine line there. I guess a lot
right.
of my songs could be called cheesy, I suppose, but I guess I try to avoid, something that's this fake or processed.
Right. Inauthentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you start with lyrics then, or do you start with the melody?
I usually start with lyrics, although the more guitar I play and the better I'm getting at guitar, which is, it's a long haul to get there. I'll just be sitting there messing around with my friends or whatever, playing some songs, and I'm like, oh, it's a great lick. And then in my mind, I can kind of already hear the melody, right? And then from there, I'll try to concept the the words based off of the melody I'm hearing in my head. Like what words will fit that can go and sing with that melody there. And so it's like fill in the blanks almost.
Yeah.
Or if I'm walking down the street one day, and I just have a line strike me, then I will from there be able to extrapolate that to guitar and then write the guitar parts for that. I would say it's probably more of the latter, the latter. Yeah. Usually I'm thinking of, a line, and then I'll write the guitar parts for that.
Some guitar.
Which is kind of a newer development for me.
Right.
I have no formal music training. I've had one or two piano lessons in my life, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
And when it comes to the piano, you brought up the piano. Do you write music on the piano as well, or just the guitar?
I have actually started playing piano as well. Which has been awesome. Although I recently moved from Cannon Beach, Oregon on the coast to Portland. And I had to leave the piano behind, unfortunately. But I think we're going to be able to find one locally. Usually people are trying to get rid of them.
Yeah,
they don't want to move them, so they'll give them for free.
Yeah. And do you prefer the piano or?
Oh, guitar all the way for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's mobile. I like to write a lot. I write a lot outside, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just go get a cup of coffee or beer.
So are the songs always awesome, or have you ever written a shitty song?
Oh, I've written so many bad ones, so many bad songs. I've got a master list now that I've started to put together, and I think I've got about 75 on there that I like, that I would like to produce someday. And then I've got probably 50 journals
full of other songs.
Most of them are 3 or 4 lines.
Yeah.
A lot of what I found is when I write a song that I think is good, but I'm not sure, I'll sleep on it, wake up the next day and be like, how is this? And then the next day I'm always, more often than not, I'm like, no, that doesn't cut it.
That was drug induced.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Too tired.
Yeah, been there, Zach. Woken up the next day going, what the fuck was happening last night?
Smoked too many doobies. Yeah, exactly.
Are there artists or musicians, songwriters that have inspired you along the way?
Oh, so many. Yeah, it's hard to pick, and I know I'm going to leave some people out here, but they don't know me, so I don't think they'll mind. But of course, Bob Dylan. I play
greatest songwriter of all time.
I mean, who can deny it?
Yeah.
Honestly, Brandi Carlisle's inspired me a lot. Just the way I just love her, the melodies she writes, and
she's a random one.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, she came into my musical sphere about 15 years ago. My mom and stepdad actually saw her at a bar in New York.
Really?
Before anything. Yeah.
Random.
And she just, I've seen her live now probably 4 or 5 times, and she really inspires me. And then the classics, Metallica.
Yes.
Hetfield, Bradley Nowell. And then I'd probably say one of my biggest inspirations is Kurt Cobain.
So you like kind of that rock, but I mean, Bradley, it's a little bit more.
Yeah, he's a little bit more, more reggae kind of fun. I like the rough edges of Sublime.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like I have those same kind of rough edges there too, with some of my songs. So that definitely, has been a big one too. I had a really interesting, people are always, oh, you sound like so-and-so, or you remind me of this or that. I had the most random one the other day, but I absolutely loved it. But somebody said my music sounded like 9 Inch Nails.
Really?
I know. Can you believe it?
Wow, no, I love that.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I used to, as a teenager or whatever, I'd oftentimes go to sleep listening to 9 Inch Nails, which is kind of interesting choice.
So you
right?
had dark dreams.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they were a huge influence.
Yeah, sure.
Or he was, I should say, Trent Reznor. But I kind of stopped listening to him for a while, and I got that the other day, and maybe 2 weeks prior to that, I had started listening to them again. So I don't know if it was a long-term influence or it was just because I started listening to them again.
Yeah.
But I was playing all the same songs that I always played, so it wasn't like I wrote something new and tried to make it sound like Trent. But that was a cool one. So
that is cool.
I guess
it could go multiple ways in those moments. Like when someone says, "Do you know who you look like?" or "Do you know who you sound like?" You're like, "Well, here we go."
Yeah,
I can go a few different, like, well, as long as they're hot or as long as they're talented,
exactly.
then I'll take it.
I had a really funny moment at the blackjack table 2 nights ago. I was playing with this guy, and then this other gentleman walked up and then left a few minutes later. And then this guy says something like, "Well, oh, you know who you look like?" And I thought he was talking about me, and he said Vin Diesel, and I was like, I was like, oh, okay, I've never had that one before. Thank you. And he's like, not you, man. Like, that guy was bald. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Well, that's not a bad one. You can just walk away and be like, yeah.
Who's your celebrity doppelganger?
Me? Oh no, I don't know. It's always somebody random, like that Netflix series or that random whatever.
Sure,
I don't even know. I have to like side Google.
Yeah. And then you're like, wait, let me decide if I'm happy or not about that.
Exactly. I get the just like my sister or my cousin lot too.
Sure.
I get the photo. I'm like, no.
Sure.
Most of the time, it's not even like, oh wow. No. Yeah. No. How about you? Do you get a?
I get Matthew Perry a lot.
Really?
Which is weird. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Matthew as well. I don't know, something like that. I guess profile. I don't know. Like I don't know. Yeah, Matthew Perry mostly though.
Oh, that's funny. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So being in music isn't an easy path and career. How has it impacted you personally?
In a few different ways. One, it's like brings the most joy to anything. I work in hotels, which isn't necessarily my dream, job. Most musicians these days have a real job and then they do music on the side just because you have to,
Right.
with Spotify and everything and the way that they're taking advantage of musicians.
Sure.
I would say that it's, it brightens every day though in my life for sure. It's always something I can go to the well for. And once you get an instrument, you can play for free. Well, strings are expensive, et cetera. But, it's something that, no matter what's going on, you always have access to it. And so it's kind of like just, it's like knowing that you can always go back to the well to get some water. You can always go back to the music.
And have you passed it along to your kids?
Oh yeah, definitely. I gave, my oldest son, Austin or Ozzy, shout out to Ozzy, Dylan, Caden. Love you guys. I give him my Fender, red Fender that that Lindsay had bought me years ago, and a little amp and stuff like that. So he started to play. My daughter is an amazing singer. Really? Incredible. I can't wait to sing with her again. We've recorded a couple of songs together.
Oh, cool.
that I still listen to often. And then my youngest Dylan, he has started to love the piano as well.
Really?
And we had a drum kit in my living room up until recently.
Why on earth would you do that to yourself?
It's so fun. So fun. We basically changed the living room to a studio. So I have a piano. I've got 10 guitars in there. We've got the drum kit. We've got a bunch of amps, a bunch of mics set up.
You're like a regular Partridge Family at this point.
Pretty much. We've never gotten the foursome together, to all play at the same time, but that'll be a bucket list goal for sure. We'll get Caden on the mic, then Ozzy will play the lead guitar, play some rhythm, and Dylan can maybe hit the drums.
I love it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
What will your band name be?
Oh man. The last name Harmon, it's like there's got to be something with that, right?
Yeah,
it's like it's the Harmon Quad or something like that. I don't know.
When you're writing music, whether it's with your kids or just in general, do you try to be open to a broader audience, or do you try to just feel the moment?
I don't feel like I write to appeal to anybody, but I also feel like everybody that hears my music, not to brag or sound braggadocious or whatever, but I feel like a lot of folks do really connect. I write a lot about love, like everybody does, and heartbreak and such, and that's really when I kind of started jumping off musically, when I started really dedicating myself to it.
When you started feeling a lot of love or feeling
with
heartbreak?
The opposite. Yeah. When my ex-wife and I, when we split up, I had so much sorrow and nowhere to put it. And so I started writing, about it. And it's, what would you say? 90% of songs out there about love and relationships, I think, overall. There's some songs about teacups and stuff like that too, I suppose.
The kid one.
Yeah, but most.
Did you think that your music career led to the split that you had, or
no? I think golf and booze led to the split.
Yeah, good old golf and booze. Yeah, but it's kind of. I know that when my best friend Andy passed away, that was a huge contributor for me with art, with painting.
Sure.
And so in darkness sometimes comes an avenue.
Exactly. Yeah. So I definitely think that for sure it was
contributed to that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like to collaborate with others?
I do a little bit.
Do you prefer to work alone?
I prefer to work alone for sure. I've collaborated a little bit, with my this girl I'm in love with, my ex-girlfriend at this point, but we're
Does she know that you're still in love with her?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I saw her before I flew out. Louise,
if you're listening.
Miss Peters.
Louise.
Yeah, no, I saw her the night before I left, and we talked. But she and I, it's kind of a funny story. I hope she hears this. But she and I would collaborate a little bit. You know, she's a painter, so she would always paint while I played music and stuff like that. And but she also likes to write. She's a very bright woman. And she's a music lover. That's how we met. We met at a show, Lily Hyatt show. Shout out to Lily Hyatt, who's great, by the way. You should check her out.
Okay.
But she collaborated with me on a couple, and then later on, you know, she's like, oh, play this song we wrote. She kept using the we word, and I got a little bristly about it. I was like, I did like 95.9% of the work on that.
Yeah.
And that was obviously in a fight, but it was a silly one. But I look back at that, I'm a little embarrassed that I was like so
protective.
You know,
But you
so
have to
protective.
be. I mean, if it's your creative process.
Yeah, it was like my art. I compared it to her. You know, if she had this beautiful painting and I walked up and put a little smudge of blue on the right hand side, you know,
It's a painting that you guys did together.
You know, yeah, that we did together. But she did so much more than that too. And looking back, I'm like, oh man, I'm such a jerk.
Yeah. Well, no wonder she's an ex, Zach.
I know. And I told her.
Sorry, Louise. First, I was advocating, but now I know.
I know, right? Well, I've definitely tried to own a lot of those mistakes there, but it's definitely, she gave it out too. But we definitely, I have a feeling we're gonna work things out someday.
Good. And what role does emotion play though in that process of writing music? And
I just like. Sometimes it can be distracting, right? I mean, it opens the portal in one way, and then another it kind of will drive you nuts too, because all you can think about is one thing, and you feel like you've already written about that one thing a million times before. But again, going back to her, I've probably written 5 or 6 songs over the last year that I think are some of my best. That were written, just with that feeling that she gave me in mind, and the way I feel about her, and just everything like that too. So. Pretty big role, I think.
How does a woman move on from dating a musician? Right?
Oh, gosh.
Is there anything better than having a song written for you and about
I know.
you?
Oh, tell me about it. I don't know. I wish someday someone would write a song about me. But, maybe. Who knows? I don't know how someone moves on. I do know that I saw this funny thing the other day about, it was like just some silly meme or something like that about how girls should disrupt the natural order of things and flirt with the drummer or the bass player instead of the guitar player or the singer.
I don't know if I can commit to that.
It just blows up the whole network. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure how.
What do you hope that people take away from your music?
I definitely, one thing again I love about the responses I get is how much people feel and how much they can tell I feel when I sing and play, and how like connected they feel to the music, and I guess it's like goes back to that like we're not alone thing. Everybody feels it, and I definitely know for sure when I write a song, it helps me grow and move on, from a lot of different feelings. It's like, oh god, I got to put it somewhere. Yeah. And I'll have that forever, that song, that feeling, everything like that. And hopefully someday it provides even more value,
For sure. Have there been lessons learned along the way where you're like, if I could go back and do this again, I will not.
I will not. Let's see.
Or will.
Or will.
Right.
I mean, I would definitely say, picking, committing to bandmates and committing to fellow musicians is really important. There's definitely, there's something, I just moved to Portland and I left behind one of my, best friends and favorite musicians I've ever played with, a man named Josh Daniels, who was my drummer, and he wanted to stay at the coast and I had to go. And I kind of have a feeling I'm going to regret that for a long time. And then also I had met another gentleman there that was willing to play with us as well. His name's Win Alexander, and he's an incredible player. And they were all so amped about playing together, and then I decided to move. And
yeah.
So
it sounds like a lot of your regrets have to do with the people. Yet when I asked you if you want to collaborate, you're like, I work better.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I love the collaboration 100% when it's time to perform. But I want to be the mind behind the song.
I mean, there's a lot of bands that work that way. You talked about Metallica. Doesn't James write a lot of the music and then bring it to the band? Or James and Lars?
Exactly. 100%. And it's not that I think I'm any better than anybody else. I just know this is what I want to do. Like, so, what the thing is getting buy-in from folks, right? Like, so if they buy into my music, great, and if they don't, that's okay too. If they don't, don't have to play with me, and obviously when you have those personal connections, you really want them to want what you want as well. But I have a dream and I'm going to chase it. Whether or not it's gonna be by myself or with folks. That was one thing about Mr. Alexander is I talked to him and I was like, you're an incredible songwriter, incredible singer. Why would you want to play with me? You can do your own stuff. You don't need to, you need to be a front man, and, we never obviously got to the point where we were able to really quite figure out how that would look, but I definitely think about that a lot, when you're forming a band is, it's possible to have too much talent in the room, especially if you're as stubborn as I am about wanting to do. And I always said, like, hey, as soon as I get these 70 something songs published, then let's start doing some of your stuff.
Do all that. Now it's a completely different genre of music, but I was recently introduced to Connor Price. I think I'm saying that right. You know who I'm talking about?
I think I've heard that name.
My sons introduced me to it, and we went on a rabbit hole of watching a bunch of his YouTubes. Well, he's a musician or rapper out of Canada.
Okay.
And he's written a lot of songs that you probably have heard on Instagram at minimum, right? But one of these kind of pathways that he went down, and he's a young man, like we're talking like 20s or something, and he would spin a globe and like stop the globe, and I'm sure some of the people are listening going, yes, this is old news, right? I'm just the old woman in the room is discovering this very trendy thing. But he stopped the globe and then at that country find an artist, a popular artist from that country, and then collaborate with them, right?
Oh, wow.
And some of the songs are unreal. Like his most popular songs are ones that he collaborated with people like in Germany and in India and in places in Asia.
Yeah.
And it's insane. And I thought, one, how big picture for this young man to do this is absolutely incredible. It made me giddy listening and looking at it. But what a cool way to bring the world together in a time like now.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm available, Connor, if
we'll tag him. We'll tag him in the episode.
That's one thing about collaboration. I should say too is I would obviously love to collaborate with anybody, and especially if they've established as well.
Sure.
And it's not if someone says they want to write a song with me, I'll always do it. I'm always happy to
right.
like write something new for sure. I guess but I just haven't had the opportunity, yet. But I'm hoping obviously someday I'd love to play with people like Jack Johnson and things like that. That'd be great for sure.
Well, will you play something for us?
I absolutely would love to. Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
So I'm going to head us out to a shout out, and then when we come back, maybe we'll get some of your jams.
That sounds perfect.
Excellent. Let's head on out.
Hi guys, my name is KG. We are currently with in Maboning. Maboning is a place of light in English. I'm with Brandi. You're actually looking at the Hotbox.
We're still getting a little set up here, and I'm going to throw some quick answer. Do you want to push it up this way or?
Okay, there.
You're seeing this happen live. That's the best part of the Strategic Hotbox is that we do everything live. And so getting to hear the musician live, getting to hear Zach talking about his path and his process live. Do you have enough room? You got it?
Yeah, we got this.
Okay.
Feel good about it.
Well, I think, show everyone what's happening here. Nick is going to try to run out. All right. So as you're getting set up here, I have to ask some fill in the blank questions.
Yeah.
If I could, I would blank every day.
Oh man, go in the sauna.
Go in a sauna.
Love saunas.
Oh, I love that. Me too. I love to sweat. I love being hot. So much prefer being hot.
It's hot.
I mean, I live in Las Vegas.
Maybe it's the lights. I don't know. It's hot.
Maybe it's just you're around me.
Yeah, I know,
you're
right?
Just a little,
exactly.
nervous.
How long have we known each other? What, like
a long time?
And you're just getting hotter. It's amazing.
Well, that's the goal, right? Like
right.
You don't want to decline. The world would be a better place if
there was more love, I think, or for sure. I mean, that's and again, I said not to be cheesy earlier, but I did it myself. But it's so true.
Real life.
Yeah, world would be a better place if we all got laid more. That's less.
Amen.
That's less cheesy.
Here.
Yeah, let's cheers to that.
Cheers. All right, set us up for what you're playing for us next.
This is a song I think is appropriate for the moment. Obviously, being in Vegas, this is called "Leaving Las Vegas." I wrote this one during the pandemic. Actually, the first month everything shut down, but. So this is a, oldie but a goodie.
Great.
Let's give it a shot. All my life I waited for a break I hope would come. Sure had my good days. Safe to say I had some fun. Now I'm getting older. Now I'm not so sure I really lived. Few ways to get out of this city, and once to drink yourself to death. I'm leaving Las Vegas. Thought I'd get rich and famous. Laid too many bad bets down. Now I don't got a friend left to call in this town, and I'm leaving Las Vegas for good. Leaving Las Vegas for good. Gambled my time away. Blur of chips, smoke, women and wine. One card away from the big time. I told myself that every day. Surrounded by a cruel desert. That old cook, man, alive. This city burnt you worse. Gotta get out to survive. You gotta get out to survive. I'm leaving Las Vegas. Thought I'd get rich and famous. Laid too many bad bets down. Now I don't got a friend left to call in this town, and leaving Las Vegas for good. Leaving Las Vegas for good.
I don't know. I pause. I'm jumping in energetically in the pause there. I loved that, Zach. That was incredible. It to me, it was very Bob Dylan, like Neil Young.
Yeah,
like I loved it. Oh.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, you got something else for me?
I'll play one more. I'll play Elevator now. Yeah, let's do it. I put that capo on bad too, and I bent one of the strings, but it turned out okay, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you. I guess.
Do you have enough room? Are you good?
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. We'll make it work. It's a make it work moment, right? That's what I was saying. I get some Neil Young comparisons sometimes, which is an honor, obviously. He actually played in Ojai once at the Ojai Deer Lodge, of all places.
Interesting.
Like he just popped in on a motorcycle and played.
Love it.
The house one day.
Yes.
So this is pretty much a brand new song. I wrote it 2 or 3 weeks ago. Hopefully I remember the lyrics, but it's called Elevator.
Okay.
And it's about relationships. It's pretty fun. This is kind of very, very country.
Now we know it's about Louise.
You know. God, I hope she sees this episode. She's going to crack up. All right, here we go. Ooh, buzzy. Sorry, y'all. What's going on there? That's all right. We'll make it work. Yeah, that's not. We're gonna open it up. There we go. Sorry. Ooh. I guess it don't matter much now anyhow. But still hoping you wake up on Monday morning. And I wish I was there. You say no one can do what I can do. Oh, so sweet, so smooth. I'll make you see God, make you feel like an angel, make you feel like we're riding on an elevator. We're going up, we're coming down. Right now we're going down, down, down. We're going down. Please make it quick. So much better to burn out. I wonder if you'll miss the man who held you like the truth, the only one who could lift you up when you're feeling blue, blue, blue. I love the way that I can make you smile. You love the way I can go for hours and hours, and how I'm willing to walk for miles and miles when we run out of gas. We going up, we coming down, right now we going down, down.
And as Zach
Going
continues,
down. Please make it quick.
ends,
So
I
much
want to
better
bring us out and say
burn.
thank you so much to Zach for being here. Just keep playing us out, would you? Thank you to all of you that are here on the Strategic Hotbox. Thank you to all my friends, the pioneers. Thank you to Zach Harmon for being here and playing with us today. I also, if you want to see more of Zach, if you
don't
want to
matter
see
much now,
what else we've
baby.
got going on the Hotbox, email us at podcast@strategichotbox.com. Check us out on all the platforms, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Roku and Spotify and all the different places. And we're just flashing Zach's Instagram up on, we'll get it on our website as well. So until I see you again, thank you, Zach. You guys can all get out there and kick some ass.